Hi, this is Rashmi Kaur and welcome back to my channel Kitabi Buli Ladki after a long gap. 2020 has been a curse like to all of us, right? And Amazon Great Indian Festival has given us an opportunity, us bookaholics, as an opportunity to find an iota of happiness in this pandemic, right? So I just bought books and I have given you the description of these books because they are just 7 books, so unboxing and book hauling of 7 books won't take much time. And I don't want you to Google each and every book, right? I want you to Google the book whose description you personally find compelling, so that it saves you a lot of time. So in this book haul video, you're also going to know that what the book contains and for you. So without any further ado, let's get started. So this is the first pack we have here. Let's see what we have in here for us. Okay, so first novel is A Place of White Marble by Bani Basu. This is the book. It is still wrapped because I don't have much time to read this book in this hectic schedule. So this is a book that is written by Bani Basu in 1990, and this is a translated version by Nandini Guha. Thanks Nandini for translating this book for us readers to read without any language barriers, of course. So this book is about a young lady known as Bandana, who is a young mother, a widow and an educated person. Now the question is that she has her desires. She is just 27-year-old and she has her desires. She wants to defy the notions of Indian widowhood that we all see and experience in our life. We don't experience, I guess. We witness. We may experience in this society, but for now we witness such notions in our society of Indian widowhood. So she is the one who tries to defy it. Her uncle actually makes her realize her worth. So she starts her journey. Now the question is, it is her journey. Now the question is, will she put up a brave fight against all the odds, or will her desires succumb to the notions of the society? So this is a book that screams feminism and that tells you the status of an educated young woman in the patriarchal society. So that was my first pick for 2020. Moving on, my second pick, we have The Radiance of 1,000 Suns by Manjeet Sodhi Someshwar. So this is the book. Okay, first of all, before talking about the book, let's talk about the cover. How decorative is the cover? It looks like a wedding invitation card or that decorative mithai ka dibba that you receive on Diwali or from some rich people. So this looks like so appealing, like this must be a very fancy story or something, right? But the book blurb says a very different story about it. This is a story of 4 women, Biji, Nooran, Rupa and Nikki. This was originally written in 2019. So this story is about these 4 women whose life, there are certain sort of events, their history, their past and their present are collided with each other. And there are events that are connected. The events are pre-partition, partition, emergency, 1984 pogrom and 1911. So these are the events that connect these stories. So there's nothing much about, I know that how the stories are connected or how these women are related. The only reason I purchased this particular book was, it is the allegory with the Mahabharata. It has poetry of Bulle Shah. So I was very much, intrigued that how Mahabharata, how Bulle Shah had been, inculcated in a book that deals with such violent events. Because I have a lot of books on 1984, to be very honest, being a Sikh. But I was like very curious to read that how, Mahabharata, Bulle Shah and other, legendary poets have a role to play in this book, which is full of, heartbreak, suffering and emotion. So I guess we'll find out when we'll read it. So this was my second pick for 2020. Now my third pick is, this is The Loneliness of Hira Barua by Arupa Patangia Kalita. So this is the book. Before talking about what the book entails for us, let's talk about how smooth the cover is. I know you can't feel it, but it is really smooth. Like It is so buttery that when it arrived, this book arrived, and I unwrapped it from the bubble wrap, I just touched it and it felt like a muslin cloth. I literally rubbed against my cheek. I know it's weird, but it's okay. So yes, you should not judge a book by its cover. I understand. I didn't. I bought it online, so I didn't judge. But just for you, to know that this book has this an advantage, that the cover of this book is really smooth. So make sure you buy the original copy just because of the cover. Now, talking about the book, this is again a translated book. This is translated by Ranjita Biswas from Assamese. So this book was originally written in Assamese in 2014. And thanks Ranjita Biswas for translating it for us readers to read this beautiful book. Now this book won, if you can see, Sahitya Akademi Award in 2014. So I don't think I have to, praise this book a lot because the award says it all. Now this is a collection of short stories. There are like 30 short stories in this book. And every short story screams feminism, bashes patriarchy. Now in subtle way or violent way, I don't know, we have to find out. But this is a book that I think you can gift it to someone who is into feminism, who wants to read feminism or feminist stories in Indian context, but does not like reading a very bulky or comprehensive or research-based book. So short stories are a perfect way to, gift to anyone who loves something but doesn't like to read a lot bulky stuff. So short stories are a way to go. Looking forward to read this one. This was my third pick from 2020. Moving on to the second debak or second box. Okay, so we have my favorite book from this collection that we have here. It is Folk Tales from India by A.K. Ramanujan. So look at this. Now I know a lot of you guys be like, okay, folk tales, who read folk tales in 21st century? But because for most of the people, folk tales are just bedtime stories. But sorry, for me, they are more than bedtime stories. I'm obsessed with folk tales, folklores, epics, mythology. So when I saw this book, I was eyeing this book for a long time, but it is quite costly. But when it was on sale, of course, I purchased it. It looks bulky, but it isn't bulky. The reason I'm saying it, it is very lightweight, and of course, it has 110 stories from all over India, from 22 languages. And the advantage of reading from this particular book is that when you read a story, when you read a story, you see that they have written the regions. I hope you can see. So they have written the regions, like from where they have picked up this Indian folk tale. So it is like a mini encyclopedia, And this was written originally in 1991. Yeah, it was originally written in 1991. Yeah, 1991. So, okay. So basically about this book, it is a bedtime story. If you are not into folk tales, unlike me, you can gift this book to a teenager, to a person you want to, inculcate reading habit into someone. This is the best gift you can give to a, teenager or a new mom, or someone who simply loves folk tales like me, or someone who loves bedtime stories like kids. So yeah, this was my fourth purchase from 2020. Okay, so the last book that we have here, physical copy, is Rising Heat by Perumal Murugan. So I don't know. Okay, so this is the book. First of all, see the book. I love the cover. It's hardcover. Finally, one hardcover in my collection. I'm so excited about. So basically, before moving on to the book, I'm so sorry if I'm not pronouncing these names correctly, because these are South Indian names and I'm just trying. I mean, no disrespect to anyone. But yes, okay, talking about this book, this is also a translated version. This book was originally written in 1991 when the author was literally 25-year-old. Now that's something, a great feat to achieve at such a young age. So this is translated by Janani Kannan. Thanks ma'am for translating this classic for us. Okay, so moving on to the story of the book. This book is about a young boy called Selvan, whose ancestral land has been, sold away for a housing development project. Like we see today, like slums area being cleared, and then people are evicted from that area, and then government builds these buildings, construct these buildings, and allot smaller lodgings to these slum area people to fit in. So that what happens in this book also, in the story also, that they are fit in the smaller lodgings. This is a story of Selvan, who from his childhood to his adulthood, that how traumatic this experience was for him, for his family, for his known member, the challenges they accept, the challenges they face, how they try to adapt with the situations. And of course, this is an emotional story of a socio-economic cause or consequence. This makes reader question that what price a poor person has to pay in the name of development and urbanization. So this is something that I'll say is very relevant, and this is something I think I'll probably read first amongst all. So yeah, that was it. Okay, so I purchased 2 more books. One is yet to arrive, and one I have gifted it to my Masi. So let's talk about the book that is yet to arrive, and that is Prelude to a Ride by Annie Zadie. I'll just paste a picture here. So this is a book, anyone who is a bookaholic, he or she may know that this was a shortlist book for JCB Literature Prize 2020. Although it didn't win, but this is the book that is very compelling. I don't think so I have much to say about this book for 2 reasons. The title says it all, right? And secondly, this is a very thin book, less than 200 pages. So if I'll say more, I'll give more. It is about the situations, the communal disharmony, extremism that clouds over a neighborhood, and before a riot, how the situation, how the things changes. And this is something where we have read, we read, and we will read. So this is an eternal classic. It is bound to be a classic. It is a very relevant book for all time. It is a timeless book, I'll say. So this is something that I have purchased, and I'm very much looking forward to read this. Okay, so the last book is Khwaishein. That is an anthology, basically a collection of short poetries from 10 authors or poets from all over India. So in that book, my Masi has 3 poems published. So you can gift it to anyone who loves Hindi poetry, to your mom, to your dad, to yourself, or anyone, because dude, without poetry you cannot survive in this cruel world. So that was it for today's haul, and I hope you enjoyed this haul. If you haven't realized one thing, like maybe you have, if you haven't, all these books, like every book that I have showed you and I have talked about, all these books are of Indian authors. Now this is also to promote vocal for local, and also for you to realize that Indian authors aren't bad. They are critically acclaimed authors, and the reason why they aren't famous in India is because Indians don't tend to read Indian writers and readings like you should. Till then, take care, enjoy reading, and stay safe, stay home.